Happy Tuesday. We did not do legs yesterday. I'm not very happy about it, but I mean, for the most part, it probably, when going back and thinking about it, probably was the best decision for us, considering that we had to change our schedule for this week. We're actually going to be working out tomorrow on Wednesday instead of Thursday because of prior engagement. So, you know, having so many days where you're only getting one day off really isn't giving the central nervous system enough time to recover from the heavy lifting, because we lift in the six rep range, pretty much only 5 to 6 rep range. So we're doing strength training, heavy stuff. So it's gonna work out. I'm fine with it. Instead of doing legs, I obviously did my strides yesterday in the morning, and then in the evening at 7 o'clock I went for a 50-minute walk. That's a pretty difficult route that I like to take over here in the neighborhood that I live in. So what I wanted to talk about actually was that. I think, well, that and something else, a couple other things, but I think that it's a good idea to do that evening walk after you have your last meal. And I've brought this up before. As an endomorph, they really, what I've read about research on endomorphs is, in order to get your metabolism going at a faster rate to digest your food, they recommend for endomorphs who have slow metabolisms to exercise more than once per day, preferably walking or like a rowing machine, those kinds of things, you know, low impact, because it's something that an endomorph should be doing 6 days a week, at least 5 days a week, but more so 6 days a week of, you know, maybe a 30-minute walk in the morning and a 30-minute walk at night once you have your weight where you want it. Once your weight's where you want it, then, you know, you don't have to do much exercise, especially if you have your macros dialed in. But I'm recommending that if you want to see fat loss skyrocket, start doing a 30-minute to hour-long walk after your last meal every evening. You know, take your kids with you. You know, you don't have to go by yourself. Another thing I want to talk about quickly was I've been doing a lot of research on this thrifty genotype, the gene that pretty much, you know, causes your body or tells your body to store fat, and how it relates to insulin levels and diabetes, which endomorphs are, you know, susceptible for, or it's easier for endomorph, or a lot of endomorphs do have diabetes, or later on in life tend to, you know, they tend to evolve, you know, your system changes and you tend to get it or achieve it or whatever you want to call it. But all this has a lot to do, roll up these windows, all of this has to do with refined carbohydrates, you know, our intake of refined carbohydrates. Back in the day, you know, the people that have this gene, it was beneficial for them because they were going through times of famine, so it made sense for the body to, you know, hold on to these calories, specifically carbohydrates, and store them as fat. So because the body knew, oh, there's going to be this time of famine and I'm going to need to survive, so I store this fat, you know, in places on my body, and then, you know, when it's time, it's there for me to use as, you know, as a fuel source to stay alive. Well, here comes, you know, like modern times, excess refined carbohydrates, you know, processed foods, and our bodies are getting all these carbohydrates. And well, these people that don't have the gene, that can stay skinny all the time because their body can process carbohydrates well, they're fine. But the people whose bodies do not work like that, they are stuck in a situation where, you know, they're stuck in a situation where, you know, they have to really watch this stuff. The Endomorph, you know, your body needs carbohydrates, but especially like the refined kind, because I've talked about this before and it makes sense to me. I have been on diets where I've ate a lot of fruit, and I would definitely go over 172 grams of carbohydrates per day in fruit. Weight still pouring off. So, you know, I asked myself, you know, do the carbohydrates, I don't think that you should abuse it in combination, but what I do know is this: if you just, for me, if I just ate fruit all day, I mean, even if I ate upwards of like 20 bananas per day, which is a ridiculous hundreds of grams of carbohydrates, I'd still cut weight. I probably wouldn't cut weight as fast as I would eating 15 or 10 or 5 bananas, but I would still cut weight eating that many carbs per day, because this whole Endomorph weight gain, easy weight gain, is, I feel, and I'm going to continue to research it, directly connected to refined carbohydrates and how the body processes refined carbohydrates. So, you know, get the amount of refined carbohydrates that you eat like greatly under control. I mean, you need to be all over your refined carbohydrate intake. You know, if you're gonna have refined carbohydrates, I don't recommend it, but if you're gonna have refined carbohydrates for all your carbohydrates per day or on certain days, just make sure that you're only sticking with those numbers that you're allotted per day. Don't go over those numbers that you're allotted per day, because you will see your body stop losing fat if you go over those numbers. Now, with fruits and vegetables, you could probably go over those numbers in all reality. You know, I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just saying from experience, I've been able to overeat on carbohydrate, eating fruits and vegetables all day in massive amounts and still cut weight. So whether you want to do that or not, that's on you, but I've been able to do it. So I hope that stuff helps you. Check it out, Thrifty Genotype. You can look it up yourself. I recommend researching everything that I say. I am not a professional. I'm just a person that shares information that has helped me and stuff that I'm looking into that I feel pertains to this, you know, Endomorph, staying lean, fat loss, fat oxidation lifestyle. Constantly keeping your body oxidizing the fat in your body for energy, rather than using the energy that you're eating. You know, that's what keeps your fat going down. Fat oxidation. You know, energy balance, yes, energy balance is very important, but you know, eating the amount of carbohydrates that keeps your body oxidizing the fat that you have stored. Once you get all that out, or the majority of it out, or get to a balanced number, like I want to be at 10%, then you know, the body just transferring what it needs to take out of that percentage per day for your energy, and you know, and then using the food intake, you know, to nurture your body in the proper way for you. But you got to learn your body, you know, and that's my goal. You may want to be 14%, you may want to be 10%, I don't know, but find your way, find what works for you, find what your best lifestyle is for your body, which takes you doing the same thing I'm doing. High levels of research, crazy levels of research. Happy Tuesday.